आपके पूरे तजावीज़ इंशाल्लाह ताला इसको हम गौर करेंगे। और जैसा हम जो है पहले ही हमारे प्रिपरेटरी मीटिंग्स में तय कर चुके हैं कि हम इंशाल्लाह ताला एक रोड मैप बनाने वाले हैं और इसका एक फॉलो अप कमेटी भी बन गई है अल्लाह ने चाहा तो। और फिर आपसे भी मशवरा लेकर इंशाल्लाह ताला इस चीज़ को हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे इंशाल्लाह ताला। I now request Dr. Khader Mangad Sahab, former Vice Chancellor, Kannur University, Director SAFI, Calicut, to address the gathering, please.
Venerable President of the function, my dear delegates and my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum, all of you. This is an afternoon session. People tend to snore and sleep. Nobody can blame them. Many of you I have seen are sleeping. See, it is your birth rate. Nobody can blame you for sleeping. And now also you are free to sleep because it is your right. Nobody is going to blame you. Nobody is going to insult you. And this session has been framed in such a situation that you cannot be put the blame on. The theme is educate to elevate. And the education session in this afternoon is especially concentrating on the problems which the Muslim community are facing. And if possible, the various solutions for them. There are many problems, of course. It may take days and days to discuss them. Not only hours, days to discuss them. Because Muslims have always been a marginalized community, always been accused of being communal and which never have been. We are not satisfied. We are always grieved. We have been oppressed throughout years and centuries. It was or it is the Muslims who have lost their power before the imperial powers, colonialism. After all the 800 years of power, exercising power in India, it was not only Mughals, we have Khiljis, we have Ottomans, all these people were there ruling over us, the whole country for about 800 years. And all these 800 years, we have exercised our power in this age-old country. We usually say that it is 5,000 years old country. And now we are here. Just imagine what would happen to a segment of people who have lost their power before the British imperialists. So we were very much disappointed. We were aggrieved because we are the one who lost our power and we never admitted whatever the British people offered us. We were in fact oppressed by them. Their first and foremost target of attack was the Muslims. And they wanted to divide the Muslims and the Hindus. I tell you, see, this situation is still prevailing. There are certain forces, I do not want to mention the names, who are still trying to divide the major chunk of this region or the country, that is Muslims and the Hindus. We never consider others as our enemies because we don't have any enemies. We consider everyone as equal. Ya ayyuhan nas. This is the address which is being addressed by every Muslim because the address is not towards the Muslims only, but towards the whole world. And where is the problem? The problem is where we are lagging in the field of modern education. Who decides whether it is modern or old education? See, if you are talking about education which is intended to refine the people, or which is intended to improve the standard of life of people, there is only one structure which can give you an integrative or integrated dictum or lessons that is nothing other than the Holy Quran. Holy Quran gives you an integrated method or maybe a guideline to lead a better life. And you're talking still about modern education. When you talk about modern education, we are talking about the education which has been offered by the British people. And you intend to mean that the modern education is the education in the field of science. Again, I tell you, Muslims were the pioneers in the field of science and technology. There is no time to go into deeper aspects of science and technology into the field which Muslims have contributed much. It's a great list. Muslims were the pioneers in the field of astronomy. They were in the field of mathematics, Arabs, and there were universities like Cordoba universities in the world. So who says that Muslims are lagging behind in the field of modern education? Do we mean to say that madrasa education and the convent education? One thing is sure, that the imams and the muallims and the scholars of the erstwhile India, they gave dictums to the Muslims not to follow the English education, because there is something like treachery behind their plans, because they had their own plans to cheat the Indians, to make us keep on, to make us slaves in this country, on this land of the soil of India. So they kept on doing that. So where lies the problem? Muslims, we have as the main source of a livelihood, business and trade. We used to involve or indulge in all kinds of business and trade. And our major intention was not to go for IAS or IPS or any kind of administrative professions. We were not interested in that. I am coming from Kerala. That too, the northern part of Kerala, Kasaragod. We in our districts, we the Muslims, especially the people of North Kerala, we respect only two kinds of people in the society. One is doctors, the physicians. The other one is police people. We respect doctors because, it is not because that they are the second people to God who are able to save or who are able to save you from death. No, it is not because of that. We, the people of Kasaragod, respect doctors because they get a lot of money. So money-oriented we are. And again, we respect police people, police department, SP, DIGs, or these people, even the Sada constables we respect. You know why? Because our basic means of livelihood in our districts was smuggling. I had to be a little silent when I speak about this word, utter this word, smuggling. And smuggling is something against the law. So police people are those people who are coming to catch us. So we used to respect them also. We were never interested in sending our children to colleges and universities, because for doing business and going for trade and business, we need to have only basic education, maybe 10th class education, or even below that would be sufficient. So we are always lagging behind because we have to set the goal again, set the goal again. We have to reset the goal. Where do we have it? We are all speaking about business. And can you imagine how Mukesh Ambani, one of the biggest businessmen, even not in India, but even in the world, he is the one who is experiencing tranquility of mind, peace of mind. He sleeps very well at night. And he even manages to go to Andheri and all these kinds of marine beach and simply walking like any other ordinary person. He doesn't have any tension in his mind, even though in spite of the fact that he's a businessman. Whereas our people who are involved in kind of business, like small trades and business, they wake up early in the morning after Subha Namaskar, they go to their business firms, sit over there throughout the day and throughout the night sometimes, come back to their homes late at night. They are always struggling. They are not enjoying peace of mind. But think of great business people like Mukesh Ambani. What they do? What he does is every month or end of the month, he just carries all his managers along with him on his jet plane to any of the countries in the Western countries, maybe Switzerland or UK or USA. A meeting of the board of directors will be convened on the plane. The chief manager will be giving him at the end of the meeting a small chit which explains what would be the profit that the company has made during that particular month. Finished. He comes back maybe after spending spending a week or maybe an hour in a Western country. He enjoys his life. What about the Muslim people who are engaging in business? We tend to go for innovation, modern techniques of business. We should send our children to universities and other professional institutions so that their standard of living also would be higher. I had an opportunity to attend a UPSC examination for civil servants. Now, after preliminary examination, after the main examination, they have to go for a final interview, which carries about 275 marks. In the board of examiners, board of interview, there will be 5 people, wherein one will be compulsorily be a vice chancellor. And I had given a chance to attend that particular interview and found that, I had to interview more than 36 people or candidates. From among them, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that I could not even find a single Muslim candidate. Where goes all these people? Are they not intelligent enough? Muslim students are very intelligent because they are well bred. They are given the best nutritious food, and still they never turn up for these kinds of higher level, education level, examinations level, status level, or IAS or IPS examination or administrative examinations. What happens to them? Because they are not motivated. So we need to reset our goals. Who want to be blamed for? Are the students or are the boys or are the girls? To a certain extent, I can tell you that, the parents themselves are to be blamed for them because they never motivate their children to get higher education. They say that money is enough. Not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody because here MES conference, I have found the elitist people of the country have assembled here. I'm not speaking about you. I'm speaking about those people who are not assembled here. So there are 2 kinds of reasons. One is political reasons and social reasons. I have been talking about them. Now, I don't want to extend my speech to some extent, but still, let me give you a few examples or solutions before which, let me tell you that we need to motivate our children who are yet to graduate. Tell them that the end of our life, the ultimate goal of our life is not to make money. If you are out to make money, mind you, there would be one or other person who are richer than you. You cannot beat others. If somebody is the richest person, one fine day, another person will come forward, that in the sense that he would be a richest person in the world. Sometimes it may happen. Making money is not a big problem. But the ultimate goal of life must be reset. What is the ultimate goal? Holy Quran, you can see an ayat, you can read an ayat like وَمَا خَلَقَكُمْ مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Human beings and angels, I have created you to serve me. God has created all of us not to have sumptuous meal, not to wear most luxurious clothes, not to have condominiums or bungalows, but to serve people. And clever students or children may ask you, see, is it possible to serve the whole world? Because the world comprises of 700 crores of people. Is it possible to serve all of them? No, it is not possible. But there were people who were able to serve the whole world with a single word, with a look, with a sentence, with a gesture. Who were they? Prophet Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus Christ. There were so many people. If you name them, the list goes. It becomes a very big list. So I don't want to go to that list. So you can serve the people who are in front of you. Who are they? Those people who really deserve your service. Who are they? They are blind people, handicapped people, poor people, widows, old people. These are all the people who have been presented before you by God to be served. And our intention, our ultimate goal of life is to serve these people. If a doctor can serve a patient by treating him, by giving him medicine, he may be able to save or serve a few people. But what if an IAS, now administrator, maybe a collector, he comes to power. With one single signature, he can serve hundreds of people or thousands of people. He can serve all of them. Encourage them, motivate our children to go into these kinds of services so that Muslims no more will have to complain and to wail and simply say that we are all lagging behind, we have been marginalized. No, we have to wake up ourselves. It is nothing other than ourselves that have to be blamed. Now, let me put up a few points or solutions so that if it is possible, you can follow them. See, now, we have in Kerala, especially, I can just take the example of Kerala. We have more than 3 lakhs of madrasas. And all of us know that the timings of madrasa, it varies, but still, 7 in the morning till sometimes 10 o'clock or sometimes 9 o'clock. And what do we do with the building? Crores and crores of rupees is invested upon these beautiful buildings in our state. They are all closed till night. Sometimes there may be a darsa. So sometimes they will be closed till the next day. Why don't you just hand over these madrasas for the purpose of running colleges and universities or modern education facilities, you can give in the shape and form of madrasas, they can be given. So the society in general, especially Muslim society, their status could be enhanced. Opportunities could be more if you are giving the infrastructure like the madrasas. And again, see, there was a high school in my locality, of which the percentage of SSLC winning percentage was very low. Only 15% of the total candidates used to get through the examination, SSLC examinations every year. But maybe about 15 or 20 years ago, on fine morning, especially one particular year, the results of that particular school rose up to the level of 90%. Only 10% of the students failed. It was a marvelous thing. Overnight or over a year, the result percentage of the school, it rose to the level of 90% all on a sudden. The intelligence or the IQ of the students did not rise all on a sudden. Something different happened there, Let me tell you, a very funny thing happened. It was during that year that the ruler of UAE declared that in order to get visa in that country, the applicants, the students or the applicants should pass or at least possess an SSLC. You must get a pass, then only you can get visa to this country. The next year itself, the result of a particular school which had only 15% of proportion rose into all on a sudden to 90%. So if you want to rise the standard of education in our country, not even our Prime Minister or the Education Minister cannot do any miracles by asking the people to rise their education. Maybe the sheikh of any of these Arabic countries can do that. All you have to do is, I would have asked or I would have requested our K.T. Jalil, our Honorable Minister from Kerala, to approach the sheikh to declare that if the visa should be released, you must have at least a graduation. So all of a sudden, the education standard would come up in Kerala as well as in India. I'm not humorously stating this. The motivation is the most important thing. Once you have the motivation, you would definitely rise to the occasion. So that must be done. And again, see, there is 1 hour or sometimes more than 1 hour between Maghrib and Isha. Most of the children or students, the youth people, after performing their Maghrib prayer, they won't go back to their homes. They simply toil around the places. They simply, maybe sometimes they flock together with other friends and make a lot of conspiracies. If you open up, there are many Malayalis here, open up newspapers regarding news about crimes, and sometimes 4 people are arrested by the police, you can find out of 4 culprits or criminals, 3 names will be that from the Muslim community. I am not out to criticize my own community. This is what is happening in our state. Criminals, the number of criminals is going up. So what is wrong with our children? They are out to make easy money. They are not patient enough. They are not ready to wait because they are not given motivation by their parents. They are asked to make money. And if they get easy money, why should they go to schools and colleges and toil their brain? Why should they struggle? And why should they spend their most valuable time, youth time of their life for studies? So they become criminals. Reset the goal, ask them to be very good students, very good individuals, citizens of our country, so that we can get very good results from them. Another thing, which I found was that in our state, the youth, they are all going after luxury. They want to buy very luxurious cars, very fast cars. And they won't be content enough, they won't be satisfied enough without a very big bungalow as their own. They want to purchase very expensive dress. They are after luxury. Tell them about the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How did he live? The palace, wherever the king is living, we call it a palace. When Sri Rama, he went to the forest for 14 years, life there, over there, he was living in a small thatched hut. It was not even a hut. He was living below a tree. And that place has been called as a palace. Prophet Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was living under palm leaves thatched house. Mud-walled house. It was not air-conditioned. One day, one of his friends, colleagues asked him, what happened to your back? One of his friends, he found that there was a scratch on his back and asked him, what happened? And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, while I was sleeping on the palm leaf bed, there was an injury on my back. And he asked him, see, you are the emperor of the Muslim world, and why do you sleep on a palm leaf bed? Why don't you go for a satin bed? He said, when my people are living like this, I cannot afford to have a luxurious life. This is the model set by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So tell our children that this is our life. Muslims cannot afford to be luxurious. We need to go for a very sober and simple kind of life. Luxury won't help us anymore. It is going to spoil us our lives. And we are going after fast money. We are going after easy money. That should be changed. More and more educational institutions should come up. I can tell you one of the examples. Education institutions, I'm not talking about schools. I told you that many schools must come up. Modern schools must come up. I'm talking about colleges and universities. Presently, I am working as the director after my tenure as the Vice Chancellor of Kannur and Calicut University. I'm serving as the director of SAFI institution. SAFI means Social Advancement Foundation of India, wherein it's a minority institution, and the intention is to bring in or just to nurture leaders who will be able to rule the country in future. So we are on the lookout for leaders. And SAFI is doing a tremendous business, a commendable business. I tell you, proudly say that our Secretary General, Janab Imbichi Ahmed Sahib, is the chairman of that particular institution. We are doing a lot of things over there. And I have constituted Directorate of Research so that the young minds can go for research and find out new things, innovative things. We are enjoying the fruit of life. And the fruit of life has been the result of those people who have gone by in the past. This microphone itself, is the output or invention of a person, of a scientist. Now, I speak not at my highest voice, and you can listen to me. Likewise, I used to tell my young colleagues to go for innovation and research so that they also can contribute something new to the society to make the world a better place to live in. So I tell you, my friends and brothers and sisters, encourage your wards, your friends even, to set the goal of life as service so that the goal of our life will be fulfilled. And that is what we call Islam. And that is how we become Muslims. And with these few words, I conclude my speech. And thanks all of you for having a patient
to talk